Here's what I think are the 10 gnarliest deaths in horror movies. These are in no particular order, but all are terrible ways to go. Number one, I have the vein death, puppeteer death from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. This scene literally makes me cringe and hide behind my hands every single fucking time, without fail. Just kill me, please. Like, horrible way to go. Second, while I wasn't a fan of this movie, I am a huge fan of this kill from In a Violent Nature, the one on the cliff. This is one of those that you're watching and your jaw just falls open because you can't imagine you're actually watching what you're watching. And it just went on for so long and it kept going. And this is one where you're like, is this even physically possible? Speaking of scenes where you watch and your jaw is just on the floor wondering if this is real, the bedroom scene from Terrifier 2. I saw this movie opening night in the theater and I physically watched people walk out during this scene. I've never seen that happen before. And this one, way more so than In a Violent Nature, this one goes on for fucking ever. And it like fakes you out, like you think it's over multiple times. It's not. I also have the death, that death from Terrifier 1, but that same exact style is done in Bone Tomahawk. Both are just absolutely horrific, and this was actually like a medieval torture technique. Good fucking bye. Just take me out, please. Next is Jonah's death from the Green Inferno. This poor man, he was like the nicest one out of everybody too, and he got by far the worst fucking death. Like, it's not enough that you're going to eat him, like you have to slowly take him apart as well, starting with the parts that aren't going to kill you immediately. Horrific. No thank you. Rhodes' death from Day of the Dead 1985. This is a personal favorite. It always has been. And this is one of those deaths where like you're happy and you're like waiting for it because he's such a dick. But no matter how much you don't like him, his last dying words saying choke on him as he's being torn apart is absolutely fucking metal. Another classic, the head explosion scene from Scanners. I am just such a sucker for practical effects and like this is done perfectly. I can't show a picture because it'll get deleted, but I highly recommend you look this one up if you haven't seen it. It's fucking awesome. The bone death from Old. I know this movie has a lot of mixed reviews. Personally, I really liked it, but this scene is so fucking like visceral and gnarly and you can like almost feel the pain. Like your bones just literally all breaking slowly and like you basically collapse in on yourself. Good fucking bye. Now, I put this on here because I think burning to death has to be like the worst way to go. And for that, I was torn between the tanning death from Final Destination 3 and the Thanksgiving death where they put her in the oven. But ultimately, I went with this one because it struck such fear into me that anytime I would go tanning for like some sort of event, I would leave the door unlocked because I would rather you walk in on me naked than me be locked in there burning to death if it happened. And then eventually I just stopped tanning altogether because this freaked me out too fucking much. And finally, there's a lot of deaths from Saw that I could put on here, but the one to me that is the worst is the bone marrow trap from Saw 10. Like, if you ask me to cut my leg off, that timer is running out. I do not have that much of a will to live. Absolutely fucking not. But Valentina here was a fucking trooper and she still died. And like the scene of her putting the vacuum into her severed leg and the bone marrow being sucked out, can't.